bottom line is war. The red horse is being loosed very soon. I'm not gonna get into the geopolitics of it. I'm not gonna get into the nuance of it. Okay, I will just a little bit. But just to tell you that war's here, okay? War is here. War is everywhere. They are staged everywhere. There are troops everywhere. There are hundreds of thousands of Chinese troops inside this country right now, ready for attack. All the intelligence analysis, all the intelligence community, all the counterterrorism community, all the law enforcement community, all my buddies in the NSA, all my buddies in different intelligence apparatus, guys from the teams, if you know who the teams are, they're all saying the same thing. I got a text this morning from a good brother of mine who doesn't even know what I'm talking about today. And he said, I was at a gala last night for the Clark County Sheriff's Department, which is Metro PD, Las Vegas. And he said, the sheriff said last night, he texted me this morning, he has no clue what the Lord put on my heart for this week. He goes, it's the weirdest thing. Here he is at this sheriff's gala, and he said, everybody needs to prepare for World War III right now. Why is the Clark County Sheriff saying that to the people at a gala last night? There's a reason why that hurricane did what it did in North Carolina and Tennessee. Yeah, the quartz mines. Yes, the lithium. It's paving the way. It's paving the way for war. There's a reason why they shut down the ports for 2 days. It was to offload mega cruiser weapon systems. Major weapon systems. There's a reason why what's going on Vancouver Island is. There's a reason why Hamas and Hezbollah have been allowed by our own government to build tunnels for the last decade. There's a reason why DHS and Border Patrol have been given stand-down orders for the last 5 years as 10,000 Chinese troops a day come across the border. 10,000 a day. Do the math. There's a reason why Russia has shown so much strategic restraint no matter what the US has done to Russia. You guys know that we attacked them with 158 drones? You guys know we blew up their largest weapons depot? Do you guys know that we took out all their over-the-horizon radars for incoming nuclear weapon systems? Did you know that in real time? Did you know that Japan just had to shoot at Russian bombers coming towards Japan? Did you know that we had to chase off Russian bombers coming into Alaska this week? Did you know that boomers, surface nuclear-capable boomers, which are submarines, to prove that we got through all your coastal defenses and there's nothing you can do to touch us? Did you know that happened this week? War is on the horizon. There's a reason why Iran hasn't retaliated yet. There's a reason why everybody's doing what they're doing. It's because the decision's already been made. It was made a long time ago. That's why. That's why there's no little tit for tat stuff going on. Everybody knows what's coming next. I've talked to guys in the long-term storage food community. Government in the last 6 months came in and bought out all the warehouses. All of their warehouses. There's a reason why you see they had to cull 1 million chickens and then they had to cull 600,000 this and then they had to cull 600 that. There's a reason why there's normal saline shortages. There's a reason why everybody knows what's coming next except for you and me, except for the populace. There's a reason why Germany told their citizens to dig holes in their basements to get ready for nuclear war. There's a reason why Sweden issued potassium iodine tablets to every citizen in the nation of Sweden for nuclear war. There's a reason why Norway handed out pamphlets on how to absorb nuclear strike in Europe last month. There's a reason why. It's here. War is here. The red horse is being loosed. Everybody tracking? There's your current events update. Revelation 6:1-7 says this. I watched and the Lamb opened the first of the 7 seals, and then I heard the 4 living creatures saying in a loud thunder, come! And I looked, and there before me was a white horse. Its rider held a bow, and he was given a crown, and he rode out as a conqueror bent on conquest. When the Lamb opened the 2nd seal, I heard a 2nd living creature say, come! And then a fiery red horse came out. It's interesting what the color of communism is, isn't it? And communism is theosophy, and theosophy is Luciferianism, and communism is the Luciferianism, and it's the #1 governmental system of occultic practitioners, which is why all the liberals and all the Democrats worship and love communism and socialism, because it is Lucifer's government. Everybody tracking? Okay, I digress. Its rider was given power to take peace from the earth and to make people kill one another. To him was given a large sword. When the Lamb opened the 3rd seal, I heard the 3rd living creature say, come! And I looked before me and was a black horse, and its rider is holding a pair of scales in his hands. And then I heard what sounded like a voice among the 4 living creatures saying, 2 pounds of wheat for a day's wages, and 6 pounds of barley for a day's wages, and do not damage the olive oil or the wine. Hyperinflationary economy. Everybody tracking? And when the Lamb opened the 4th seal, I heard the voice of the 4 living creatures say, come. And I looked, and there before me was a pale horse. Horrible translation. It's chloros in the Greek, which means a green horse. But the Greek scholars couldn't reconcile what a green horse was, so they changed it to the pale horse. It actually means a green horse. Its rider was named Death. It's an entity. It's a principality. It's capitalized. Its rider's name was Death. And Hades, it's an entity. It's a principality. It's capitalized. Death and Hades are guys. They're things. Death and Hades followed close behind him. They were given the power over 1/4 of the world's population to kill with sword and famine and disease and the wild beasts of the earth. Just so you know, there's currently 8,138,000,000 people on the face of the earth. 8,138,000,000. 1/4 of the world's population is about ready to be wiped out. 1/4 of the world's population. That is 2,034,500,000 people. And 1/4 of the earth's population was killed by the sword, the famine, and disease. Because all these things ride together, and all of them are part and parcel to the singularity of war and the fallout of war and the outcomes of war. Economic collapse, conquest, war, sword, economic collapse, famine, disease, pestilence, all ride together. It's interesting to note that Jeremiah 12, your relatives, members of your own family, even they have betrayed you. They have raised a loud cry against you. Do not trust them, though they speak well of you. I will forsake my house, abandon my inheritance. I will give the one I love into the hands of my enemies. My inheritance has become to me like a lion in the forest. She roars at me, therefore I hate her. Oh, once saved, always saved. I hate her, my inheritance, my people, my beloved ones. She roars at me like a lion in the thicket. Has not my inheritance become like a speckled bird of prey that other birds of prey surround and attack? Go and gather all the wild beasts, bring them to devour. Many shepherds will ruin my vineyard and trample down my field. He says, many shepherds will ruin my vineyard and trample down my field. They will turn my pleasant field into a desolate wasteland. It will be made a wasteland, parched and desolate before me. The whole land will be laid waste because there is no one who cares. Over all the barren heights in the desert, destroyers will swarm. For the sword of the Lord will devour from one end of the land to the other, and no one will be safe. They will sow wheat, but they will reap thorns. They will wear themselves out, but gain nothing. They will bear the shame of their harvest because of the Lord's fierce anger. Isaiah 13, an oracle concerning Babylon that Isaiah son of Amos saw. Raise a banner on a bare hilltop. Shout to them, beckon to them to enter the gates of the nobles. I have commanded my holy ones. I have summoned my giants to carry out my wrath, those who rejoice in my triumph. Listen to the noise on the mountains like a great multitude. Listen, an uproar among the kingdoms like nations massing together. The Lord Almighty is mustering an army for war. They come from faraway lands, from the ends of the heavens. The Lord and the weapons of his wrath to destroy the whole country. Wail, for the day of the Lord is near. It will come like destruction from the Almighty. Because of all this, all hands will go limp. Every man's heart will melt. Terror will seize them. Pain and anguish will grip them. They will writhe like a woman in labor. They will look aghast at each other, their faces aflame. See, the day of the Lord is coming, a cruel day with wrath and fierce anger to make the land desolate and destroy the sinners within it. The stars of heaven and their constellations will not show their light. The rising of the sun will be darkened. The moon will not give its light. I will punish the world for its evil, the wicked for its sin. I will put an end to the arrogance of the haughty and humble the pride of the ruthless. I will make man scarcer than pure gold. Remember the numbers? 1/4 of the world's population, then a third, then a third, then a third. A third of the third of the third of the third. It says, I will make men scarcer than pure gold, more rare than the gold of Ophir. Therefore I will make the heavens tremble, and the earth will shake them from its place at the wrath of the Lord Almighty and the day of his burning anger. Like a hunted gazelle, like sheep without a shepherd, each will turn to his own people. Each will flee to his native lands. It says it's a land of immigrants that when the Lord begins to judge it, they all go back to their country of origins because the horrors that are in the land that they immigrated to. Sound familiar? Whoever is captured will be thrust through. All who are caught will fall by the sword. Their infants will be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses will be looted and their wives will be ravaged. You should read what China teaches in their military school, the equivalent of our West Point, on how to deal with any Anglos. They say dash crush their babies, take their wives, and destroy them all. They have the highest form of xenocentric genocide. They are 8 to 10 times, by scholars, 8 to 10 times beyond the propaganda that Nazi Germany taught the German citizens about the Jews, is what China teaches their citizens about the Anglos. Just so you know, in case you didn't know that. You can read all what they say and write, just nobody cares. They're telling you what they're getting ready to do. It's just nobody cares.
And if you don't know, now you know. I plead the blood over you. Thank Jesus.